Do you have like any unique experiences so far, like going out on dates?
The last guy I went on a date with, and he asked me, and like I was asking him and stuff, and I like standard questions, you know, like, have you ever been with a foreign girl? Have you ever been with like a black woman and everything? And when I asked him that, he's like, yeah, but I don't think I want any N-word kids. He said, I don't think I would want any N-word kids because they would get bullied here in Korea. I said, I almost jumped out of my seat. I said, so like, why that word? Why couldn't you just say you don't want any black kids? But you use a nice hard word.
Wait, he said N-word kids, not, or did he like use the word like?
No, he said the word verbatim. He was like, I don't want any nigga kids.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, let me start off by saying, if this story is true, it is extremely effed up. I repeat, if what this man said to this particular young lady is true, it is extremely bad, in bad taste, and really messed up. But if you're wondering why the good doc's not going into a fit of rage, two reasons. Number one, I'm not 100% sure he said it like that because we're only hearing it from one side. And number two, I'm genuinely not surprised. I'm genuinely not surprised. And in this video today, I'm gonna try to break down the reasons why I personally believe passport men or passport bros will have more success overseas than passport women. For some reasons that may be obvious, some may not be. But also why I'm not shocked at the fact that what was said in this video was actually said, if it was particularly said. Now, you heard the video. Young lady said that the dude said he did not want to have any N-word babies. Now, that will put me in my feelings too, if a girl said that to me. But I can almost guarantee that a girl would be very cautious to part her lips to say some shit like that to an American guy or a black American guy, probably more so than a guy, Korean guy, would be to part his lips to say that shit to, she was light skinned, but I would probably say African American young lady. You see, the guys, and we're going to stick more so to Asia, but this may be applicable to other places, but we're going to stick to Asia for the sake of the video. The guys, Asian men, have access to a lot of women, and the access to women that they have are extremely plentiful. So for me to sit there and see a Korean guy having access to the women that he does, not saying that, you know, he's going to get all of them, but you know, if you're a good looking guy, you probably do have access to a lot of women, and he choosing a black American young lady in this particular example, or an American woman, period. Chances are, if he were to choose an American woman, that woman would be white. Because if you look at the culture in its essence, Korean women, just look at the country. Tell me how many black or dark-skinned Korean people you actually see in anime, in K-pop. If you've ever been there, how many dark-skinned Korean people do you see that are not mixed race, right? Now, yes, if you're mixed with African American, African, or whatever, or anything that would darken your skin complexion if you were to have a baby with somebody, that's different. But the guy making it specifically in this particular video, his words, according to her, verbatim were, I do not want any N-word babies. As in, he knows the acceptance of dark skin or toned skin Koreans in that country. Because I don't know if you've ever seen Korean dramas. Love my wife, she loves that shit. But if them shows are any indication to how the people are there specifically, I'd probably have to ask my brother this, but he probably don't know. He may know, he may not know. But if the shows are any indication on how rude or how brash or how fucked up these people can be if they don't rock with you, I can only imagine the type of shit that they would say about somebody who is of a darker skin complexion, to an extent, right? I'm not saying that this is representative of everybody in Korea or all that shit like that, because that's not fair. But I would say that I'm not surprised if a greater majority of the people would frown down on people who have darker skin tones. I'm sorry. It's just the way that it is, which is why I'm not shocked and or throwing a fit of fucking rage, okay? Now let's talk about it from the passport brethren perspective and the access or plentiful access that a lot of us have when it comes to coming to certain countries like Korea, Philippines, not necessarily Korea, but in Asia in general, right? I watched a video the other day that was really profound to me, right? And it really did shed a lot of light on why a lot of women, Asian women specifically, date outside of their own, right? It's not always the truth, but this had some weight to it when I heard it. So the young lady said the last time that she went on a date, I believe this was a Japanese young lady, and she was on a date with a Japanese guy. She said that they went to a sushi restaurant and he criticized her on damn near everything that she did, in the way that she did it, the way that she ate her sushi and all of this stuff. She felt like she could not be with a guy that was constantly going to criticize her throughout the entire relationship, right? Or throughout their entire duration of the relationship. She said one particular instance, and this is probably taboo. I don't know. If you guys know, let me know. I think she said she had her sushi, she dipped it in the soy sauce and then ate it. And I think that's taboo or some shit, you know, when eating sushi. I don't eat sushi, so I don't know. So, you know, she was like, I can't deal with guys like that. And you can honestly say amongst the culture, across the board in Asia, you're probably gonna find that amongst a lot of the guys there. They're critical. The way this guy, this Korean guy, apparently said, I don't want no N-word babies. The critical nature of most of these Asian men is probably across the board. You could probably see that in any country. How they criticize their women if they're not doing something right, this, that, and the other. It really does become a turnoff for a lot of the women, which is why you'll see far more of the women going after foreign men. You know, in the Philippines, of course, there are probably other variables, but for the most part, if they date out, it's probably because they're tired or they're just not wanting to be with their own because of reasons such as that, being critical and having to fall under probably a rule of thumb that they're not really comfortable with, or they don't want to rock with it anymore. Maybe they had some westernized exposure. I don't fucking know. All I know is that a lot of women, the reasons they date out normally is because they just don't like their own men. Now, for Filipinas, that could be a multitude of different reasons. Maybe they feel like the guy that they chosen ain't really the right guy. He does things that they don't like. And they feel like the opportunity to be with a foreigner is far more, I would say, far more, I'm not going to say valuable, but you have a better chance at better opportunities dating a foreigner. Possibly. That would be one of the reasons why a lot of women, especially in the Philippines, would probably choose that route if they're going to date foreign men. But with the women in these foreign countries, Asian women dating out, like I said, there are reasons why they choose to do that. But if the guys do it, they do that because they want to. They do that because it doesn't, like, maybe I'm bored dealing with my own women and I want to know what it's like to be with a white girl or some shit like that. So when you have plenty of access to certain types of women, and I'm assuming that the guys who are able to date out or date foreign women are already guys who have access or have had access to their own women and don't really have trouble getting with girls. Now, there are the subsets. You already know who they are. The types of guys that don't really get women at all, but I'm assuming the ones that date out, or probably the guy that she was probably interested in who made that particular statement about not wanting any of those type of children. I'm pretty sure he made that statement because he had access to women and he wasn't really pressed to be with you, right? And if you're not pressed or you don't feel a need to settle down with anybody, you're going to be very selective with who you have, right? Or who you choose to be with. Y'all can call this misogynist or whatever the fuck you want to. It's not meant to be that way, but I do believe that guys traveling abroad, they have access. They have the opportunity to pick and choose what it is that they want, the type of woman that they want, the type of woman they want to be with, right? They can put together or build a chick. These are the characteristics I need. This is what I'm looking for. You can have that type of criteria. And high percentage chance, you'll likely find somebody that ticks off the majority of the boxes. If you find the one that ticks them all off, I'd be a little scared. But they'll give you the majority of what you're looking for, right? But on the other hand, being a passport young lady, passport cis in this particular situation, you can come overseas, and I'm using Asia because, if you go to Jamaica, Caribbean, other places like that, maybe the results are a little bit different. But speaking specifically about Asia, Korea, Japan, China, places like that, and you're looking for a guy over there, the cultural difference and the fact that, get it out, Doc, you got it. Who you want to bring home to your mama is going to make a greater difference, right? Like when they're choosing or selecting their partners and stuff like that, they want to make sure that the partner that they choose, if that partner is foreign, this will be somebody that they're okay and comfortable with bringing home to moms, right? If they're looking to make this a relationship or something long term. Now, if y'all just hooking up and having fun, that's a little bit different. But if they want to take it to the next step, chances are these young ladies won't make it out of the next step because none of these guys, speaking about Asian guys, want to bring home, with all due respect, African American or even a white girl to their parents. right? Because they already know what they're going to say. You better find you a good fucking Chinese, Japanese, Korean young lady and stop playing around with them American girls. Don't do that shit. We don't play that shit over here. Get you a Korean girl, Asian girl, Korean, Chinese, Japanese girl, bring her home. Bring home one of the good ones and stop fucking playing. So if you understand why it may be difficult for a lot of passport ladies to find in Asia specifically a guy that's willing to take it to the next level with them, and put them in a position where I feel like they're going to be going against the grain and going against their family the whole time, defending you if that's the relationship that they want, they're likely not willing to go through all of that. So it's going to stop here. And on the rare occasion that it does end up here, where you do end up getting married, you guys have kids and stuff, and I'm speaking more so Asian guy, white or black or whatever, American woman, I can almost guarantee it's going to be hard for you to win over the family, right? It just becomes difficult, because if they want them to be with a strong Asian girl and not date out, no matter if y'all get married or not, there's going to be people displeased. There are going to be people who are not going to accept it. And Asian culture is very strict, straight to the point. They're no nonsense. This isn't a culture that is all about inclusivity all the time. I want you to understand that. I've lived in Asia for a greater majority of my life, at least a third of my life. So I know for a fact these people ain't going to just sit here and say, oh, my son likes this American girl, so I'm going to let him date this American girl, Ray be with this American girl, have kids with this American girl, and we're just going to be okay with it, right? It does not happen that way as often as you think. This ain't no motherfucking movie. This ain't no fairy tale. We are rooted in reality. And when you come to the strictest of Asian cultures, I would put China up there, Japan, possibly Korea, I don't know in that particular order. If you want to think of India as well, because India is for some reason a part of Asia, and that was just some geographical shit I found out recently. But anyway, it's not the point. They are very strict and straight to the point about who you're going to marry, who you're going to be with, and you damn sure better be bringing home a local girl and stop fucking playing around with them American girls, because that culture is not a culture that we want to bring into this fucking family. You understand? That's what the parents are like when it comes to the sons that are going to be the heirs to the throne, or the ones that are going to carry on the family name. You better get you a good Asian girl and leave these American women alone. That's usually the energy. On the opposite side, when it comes to, the guy, the foreign guy being with the Asian young lady, yes, there might be a little bit of push and pull, but I promise it's probably not going to be as bad as if it was the son trying to date an American girl, which is why they don't want that energy. They don't want that headache, speaking of the Asian guy. So they're not likely to take anything past just a hookup, right? For the most part, taking it anything past hookup and trying to make it a relationship, if it is or turns into a relationship, chances are that relationship's going to be secret. They're not going to want to talk very much about it. Maybe the friends know about it, but I'd be damned if mom and dad or somebody know about it, because you really don't know how they're going to react. Because I'm telling you, Asian culture is not one of inclusivity like that. So when the man said, from the words of the young lady, that he didn't want no N-word babies, he was speaking from the fact that he knows the type of energy that's likely to come if he were to produce an offspring that was half black. He knew, and it sounds fucked up, I know it, but he would probably experience some shame. He knows the child will probably experience some bullying, which is not uncommon. We talked about that in that video with the young half black and half Japanese young lady. Baby girl look every bit as black, right? Until you hear her speak. You feel me? So he probably knows the ramifications of putting together that particular match. And the fact that he was brazen enough to say that shit out loud bugs the hell out of me, but I'm not surprised. He's still the man in the situation, and sometimes the guys will say some shit a little off kilter. I believe that you would hear that from a guy far more in more situations than you ever hear a girl saying that to a foreign guy, right? They would probably just keep it to themselves. They probably have the same general sentiments, with all due respect, but they would probably keep it to themselves before they spat out something as crazy negative as that was. But this video can go a little bit deeper, but I'm definitely going to leave it right there. I think I've touched on everything that I think is worthy in this particular video. Again, why a lot of these Asian girls choose to date out when it comes to dating foreign men is because their local guys are probably not what they thought they would be, or it could be I've dated these local guys my whole entire life. I didn't like dating these local guys. Let me see what it's like to be with a foreigner. Or, you know, they're just assholes, right? They just don't like them because they're hypocritical and they're critical of everything that they do. Oh, you're so judgy. You're just that and the other. I can't just be in a relationship. I can't be myself because I'm constantly going to be judged by my guys, right? So let me see what it's like to be with somebody else who might be far less critical of everything that I fucking do. On the flip side, from the Asian guys, they know that they still control and dictate the relationship, even though they're in the foreign country. But also the dictation of the relationship means that, you know, there's probably going to be a lot of pressure coming down from family and parents. They're pretty big on having kids and having steady families. And of course, being with that good Asian girl, right? Don't bring home no floozies. Don't be bringing home no Western girls. I kind of feel like that's the energy that I get when I experience most of my time and most of the time spent in these Asian countries. But if you guys see it differently, if you're like, Doc, you bugging, right? I'm a passport sis. If a young lady wants to comment and you say I've had great relationships with foreign men and it's nothing like that, by all means, comment section below. My guys, if you can co-sign, comment below. If you disagree in general, guy, girl, whatever fuck you is, comment down below. I would love to hear what you guys got to say. This has been a good Doc, man. It's been a long ass video, my bad, but I had a lot to say, right? Anything you guys want to share with me, email me, MikeThePIGuide@gmail.com. Will gladly choose to react to these videos if I feel it's worthy, right, of my particular response to it. Like, share, comment, and subscribe, ladies and gentlemen. It's been a good Doc, man. Y'all take care. Y'all stay blessed, man. Doc is out. Peace.